Welcome to Movie Caps. Today, I will show you an adventure comedy film from 2021, titled Jungle Cruise. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. It starts off with an introduction of the Tears of the Moon, a fabled tree whose petals can cure any ailment, heal any injury, and lift any curse. Many expeditions had gone searching for the tree, however, none came close to the efforts by the Spanish conquistadors, in South America in the 16th century. The most famous conquistador among these was Don Lope de Aguirre, who was determined to possess the tear's power. But this was difficult to do, as the jungle protected the tears. When he was injured in his quest to find the tears, he was nursed back to health by a native tribe using the tree petals. Aguirre demanded the sacred arrowhead, which was the key to finding the tree of the Tears of the Moon, and he later attacked the tribe. However, the jungle defended, and Aguirre and his men were cursed to never die, and never be able to leave sight of the river as a result. In the present time, the year is 1916, and Dr. Lily Houghton and her brother MacGregor are presenting an association of English explorers, with Lily's research on the Tears of the Moon, explaining that the petals could reinvigorate medicine and aid in the war effort. The Houghtons ask to see an arrowhead discovered by Dr. Albert Falls, which Lily believes will help them find the tree. When the English explorers decline their request, considering the tree to be a myth, and a female scientist unqualified to join their ranks, Lily uses her brother as a distraction to steal the arrowhead. She does so with finesse, and is almost successful in doing so. However, she is caught by Prince Joachim, a German aristocrat who also wants the arrowhead. When he announces her thievery, Lily showcases impressive fighting skills to overcome her assailants. However, in the end, she is left dangling from a window. Her only option is to give the case containing the arrowhead to Prince Joachim, who finally lets her go. When he checks the case, it turns out Lily had replaced the arrowhead with a toy, a clever trick that helped her flee. Prince Joachim is outraged, and kills many English explorers when they pronounce his name wrongly. In South America, Frank Wolff is taking visitors on jungle river cruises, which he embellishes with fabricated lies and stupid jokes. He makes a living by setting up different traps and structures designed to scare people. A fake tribe of people has also been set up, which would shoot their boat. These acts of aggression would give the visitors a sense of being in danger, and give Frank an opportunity to save them. He would do that in return for money. He needs this money to pay for the loan he took for his boat engine from Nilo Nemolato, a businessman. However, the money is not enough, and Nilo takes back his boat engine, until Frank pays off the rest of the debt. However, since the boat is his livelihood and it can't function without the engine, Frank plans to steal it back. When Lily, who is looking for Nilo, catches him in the act, Frank pretends to be Nilo, and tells her that the Tears of the Moon are a myth, and that she won't be able to withstand the jungle's hazards, but his tone changes when he notices Lily has the arrowhead. Now he understands the depth of the situation, and starts underbidding in order to convince her. When the actual Nilo arrives, Frank's lie is uncovered, but Lily hires him anyway after he underbids Nilo, and valiantly fights off a wild jaguar attack. We later learn that the jaguar attack was also staged, as it was Frank's pet, and was trained to do so. On Frank's boat, they are nearly intercepted by Nilo, who is attempting to reclaim his engine. Moreover, mercenaries paid by Joachim are after them. Lily is taken hostage but fights back. She is helped by Frank, who is also skilled at combat. They manage to overcome the mercenaries. However, since Lily loves animals and can't stand them being locked up, she starts to unlock cages of animals instead of fleeing to safety. However, Frank convinces her to leave the place and climb the boat, and start their conquest of the jungle. We also learn that Lily can't swim. The trio has barely set sail out of the harbor, when Joachim himself attacks them aboard a German submarine. He shoots at them with a machine gun, and later fires 2 missiles at them. Thanks to Frank's heroics, they manage to dodge them and escape successfully. The three set sail, where they meet many problems, such as minimal food sources. When MacGregor goes to the bathroom, he is met by a jaguar. Lily and her brother now understand that the attacking jaguar was Frank's pet, Proxima, and she begins to doubt Frank's trustworthiness. On the other hand, Joachim is frustrated with their escape, as he wanted the arrowhead. He then devises a plan to go see the site where Aguirre was captured, to better understand the way to the Tears of the Moon. As a result, Joachim later tracks down the cursed conquistadors, whose bodies had turned to stone after venturing too far from the river, and becoming infested with tree roots, snakes, and insects over time. He makes a deal with them. He has set up explosives nearby, which would divert the river towards the stoned conquistadors. By diverting the river, Joachim frees them, and offers to help them break the curse if they help him find the arrowhead. Frank, Lily, and McGregor are now approaching the fast choppy part of the river. Frank expertly guides his way, avoiding all the jutting rocks, and safely maneuvering his boat. However, suddenly a waterfall approaches, and they face imminent death from falling down it. Frank quickly turns the boat around, using all the power from the engine to power them against the tide, and away from the waterfall. The three become closer as they travel down the river. McGregor tells Frank that his family was on the verge of disowning him, because of his homosexuality, but Lily stood by him. Thus, despite their differences and constant quarrels, McGregor will always follow her no matter what. Whilst the two talk, Lily tries to break into Frank's room. When she does, thanks to her lock-picking skills, she uncovers images and sketches of modern innovations like the vehicle, as well as arrowhead drawings and studies on the tears of the moon. Lily accuses Frank of desiring the tree for himself, but he explains that he gave up looking for it a long time ago, believing it was impossible to find. Suddenly, they are shot by darts, which leaves them unconscious. They are being ambushed by a tribe of cannibals who demand the arrowhead. Lily valiantly refuses to do so, but later this is shown to be a hoax perpetrated by Frank, in collaboration with a friendly tribe. Frank apologizes, and claims that he was unable to cancel the arrangement, but Lily dismisses his apology. She then connects with the tribe's female leader, Trader Sam, and with her help, deciphers the language on the arrowhead, revealing the tree's location, and the fact that it only blooms during a blood moon. She then claims she will embark on the rest of the journey alone, as she cannot trust Frank anymore. According to Lily, Frank is a selfish person that only thinks about himself. Later, the conquistadors attack and grab the arrowhead. Frank recovers it and returns it to Lily, but he is struck in the chest with a sword and dies. Lily flees the river to avoid being pursued by the Spaniards. She barely escapes as Aguirre almost gets to her. Lily learns the next morning that Frank has miraculously survived. He confesses that his real identity is Francisco, and that he is a cursed conqueror, who is unable to die or leave the river. After Lily successfully takes out the spear embedded in his chest, Frank tells them their story. The search for the tree began as a noble mission to save their leader's sick daughter, but when the locals were attacked by the Spaniards, Frank turned sides to assist the villagers. In return, he was stabbed in the chest by Aguirre for being a traitor. Later, Frank imprisoned the others in a cave away from the river after years of struggle. He spent the next 300+ years in search of the tree that would help him break his own curse, but he couldn't find it without the arrowhead. In the meantime, he built a whole village, his own boat, and then when the village got populated, he started giving the people cruises on his boat. While Lily and Frank make the final voyage to the tree, an injured McGregor stays behind with Trader Sam. Joachim is closing in on them. He captures McGregor, who was sailing a small boat with Trader Sam, and asks him the location of the tree. Meanwhile, Trader Sam has escaped, who is already tired of McGregor's constant talking. When McGregor does not help him, he blackmails him by threatening to kill the friendly tribe of Trader Sam. This forces McGregor to help Joachim. Lily seems to look at Frank in a new light now, as she now knows he is 400 years old. She asks him many questions. When asked about what he will do, when he finds the tree and finally breaks the curse, he replies that he will rest forever. When Lily protests, Frank replies that he has already seen most of what the world has to offer. Lily replies that what he had witnessed, which was limited to life around the jungle due to his curse, was not enough. Lily and Frank enter the place, where they must turn water into stone. They do so by swimming underwater, which is quite hard for Lily. However, she successfully does, and turns the lever, which results in the water level dropping, unearthing the long-lost place they all were hunting for. However, they are suddenly met with Joachim, who has McGregor under his control. Under gunpoint, he forces Lily to hand over the arrowhead. Under the red moon, Frank, Lily, the Germans, and the Spaniards all converge at the tree, which begins to flower thanks to Lily and Frank. They stage Frank's death in order to trick Joachim. As they fight, the moon passes swiftly, and Lily is only able to regain one petal. Acting like he had the petal, Frank takes the Spaniards with him, and crashes his boat into the river besides the tree, turning himself and the other Spaniards into stone. On the other hand, McGregor displays courage and kills Joachim. Lily uses the petal to resurrect Frank and break the curse, only to discover later that one petal remains for Lily's research, due to a shift in the moonlight. Thus, all works out well, with Frank also returning to London with the triumphant Lily. After presenting their thrilling tale, Lily is offered full membership to the society in London, which McGregor declines in spectacular fashion. The three live happily ever after. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications and leave a like to help the channel out.